saying they grow up so fast?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're getting a Cane Corso,
Yeah.
buckle up, because we're talking about a breed that practically takes that saying as a personal challenge.
It's true. Imagine like a furry four-legged friend who can gain anywhere from 2 to 4 pounds every single week during that first year.
Wow.
That's like going from a Chihuahua to a German Shepherd in the blink of an eye.
Okay. I'm already picturing this adorable, ever-growing fluff ball.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's got to be more to it than just cuteness overload, right?
Right.
What does this rapid growth actually mean for these dogs?
Yeah, you're spot on.
Okay.
See, when a dog grows that quickly, it's not just their size that's changing at work speed.
Right.
It's their entire musculoskeletal system. We're talking bones, joints, muscles, everything is playing catch up.
So it's like their inner puppy is hitting the gas pedal while their body is still figuring out how to steer.
Precisely.
Oh.
And this is where things get super interesting because it has huge implications for how we as owners approach their care, especially during those crucial early months.
All right, so let's break this down.
Okay.
Let's say you bring home this adorable Cane Corso puppy. What kind of growth journey are we talking about here?
Fasten your seatbelts because it's a wild ride. At just 1 month old, your little land shark is already tipping the scales at around 20 to 28 pounds.
Wow.
Picture a hefty watermelon with legs, and you're in the right ballpark.
Wow, a watermelon on legs. That's a visual.
Yeah,
But it gets even crazier, right?
it sure does.
Don't they practically double in size over the next few weeks?
You bet. By the time they hit the 2 to 3 month mark,
Yeah.
they're pushing 30 to 40 pounds.
Wow.
They're already starting to outgrow some adult dogs at this point.
That's remarkable. I can only imagine the grocery bills at this point. They must be eating you out of house and home.
And that's a great point to bring up because nutrition plays a critical role in all of this.
Right.
We'll dive into that a little later, but for now, let's stick with our growth chart journey
Good.
because it doesn't stop there.
Oh, I bet it doesn't. Okay, so we've got a supersized watermelon on our hands.
Right.
What happens next?
Hold on tight because we're entering the teenage growth spurt phase.
Oh, boy.
By 6 months old, your Cane Corso is going to be a solid 60 to 65 pounds.
Wow.
That's bigger than a lot of full-grown medium breed dogs. Think Labrador Retriever or an Australian Shepherd.
So now we're not just talking about, like, a big dog.
Right.
We're talking about a dog that's bigger than some dogs that are already considered big.
Yeah,
That's a lot to handle for a still developing pup.
exactly. And this is where we really need to talk about the why behind all of this.
Yeah.
Because while a giant, playful puppy is undeniably adorable,
Yeah.
that rapid growth isn't without its challenges.
Okay, so let's talk about those challenges. What are the things that owners really need to be mindful of during this crucial growth spurt?
Well, remember how we talked about their musculoskeletal system working overtime?
Yeah.
When you have that much growth happening that quickly,
Right.
it can put a lot of stress on those developing bones and joints.
So it's like trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation that's still drying.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And just like with the skyscraper, you need the right support structures in place to make sure everything develops correctly and stays strong.
Right.
And for a Cane Corso, that support comes in the form of proper nutrition,
Okay.
carefully managed exercise, and of course, regular vet checkups.
Let's unpack those one by one.
Okay.
Let's start with nutrition. What does proper nutrition even look like for a breed that's basically a furry eating machine?
Well, it starts with understanding that not all dog food is created equal.
Right.
For a Cane Corso, especially during that first year,
Yeah.
you want to focus on high-quality food that's specifically formulated for large breed puppies.
So we're talking about the good stuff, the kind of food that even I'd be tempted to sneak a bite of. Okay.
Look for food that's rich in protein to support muscle development,
Right.
has balanced levels of calcium and phosphorus for strong bones,
Mm-hmm.
and contains glucosamine and chondroitin.
Glucosamine and chondroitin.
Mm-hmm.
Those ring a bell. Aren't those the supplements people take for joint health?
They are.
Okay.
And they're just as important for dogs,
Okay.
especially large breeds that are prone to joint issues.
Mhm.
Including them in their diet early on can help support healthy joint development and potentially prevent problems down the road.
It's like giving those growing joints a little extra cushion for the ride.
Exactly. And speaking of cushioning the ride, let's talk about exercise.
Okay.
Because while these pups have boundless energy,
Yeah.
it's important to remember that their bodies are still a work in progress.
So no marathon training sessions for these little guys,
No.
even if they look like they could outrun a cheetah.
Huh. I wouldn't recommend it. Overexertion during this crucial growth phase can actually do more harm than good.
Right.
It can put too much stress on their developing joints and increase the risk of injuries later on.
So what's the right approach to exercise when it comes to a Cane Corso puppy?
Right.
What kind of activities should owners be focusing on?
Think quality over quantity.
Okay.
Short, controlled bursts of activity are ideal.
Okay.
Things like playing fetch in the backyard,
Mm-hmm.
going for brisk walks,
Yeah.
even swimming are all great options.
Swimming. That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that.
It's fantastic for them. It's a low-impact exercise
Right.
that helps build muscle and stamina without putting any strain on their joints.
It's like a full body workout without the wear and tear.
You got it. And here's another tip.
Okay.
Focus on mental stimulation as well.
Right.
These are smart dogs, and they need mental challenges just as much as they need physical ones.
So we're talking puzzle toys, obedience training,
Yeah.
things like that?
Absolutely. Not only does it keep their minds sharp,
Right.
but it also helps tire them out in a healthy way, which is a win-win for everyone involved.
It sounds like it's all about finding that balance between keeping them active and engaged without overdoing it.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
And that's where those regular vet checkups become crucial.
Okay, let's talk about vet visits.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, myself included,
Yeah.
sometimes see them as a necessary evil,
Right.
a quick checkup, and then it's back to the dog park.
Yeah.
But for a breed like this, it sounds like there's so much more than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Regular vet visits are like those routine maintenance checks you get for your car.
Right?
They're all about preventative care, catching potential issues early on before they become major problems.
And for a Cane Corso, those early checkups can make all the difference, especially when it comes to catching those potential joint issues we talked about earlier, right?
Exactly. Your vet can monitor their growth, check their gait, and even recommend specific exercises or, if needed, therapies to address any early signs of trouble.
It's like having a personal trainer for your puppy's growing body. That's amazing. But I imagine it's not just about physical health. With all that growth happening so fast, their mental and emotional development must be going through a whirlwind too.
You're absolutely right. It's easy to forget that a dog going through a growth spurt is like a teenager in a fur coat.
Oh, yeah.
Their hormones are all over the place.
Right.
They're testing boundaries, and their energy levels are through the roof.
So patience is key here.
Yeah,
Just like with a human teenager, you need to set firm boundaries,
right.
but also understand that they're still figuring things out.
Exactly. Consistent training is crucial, but so is understanding that there might be some bumps along the way. Be patient, be positive, and remember that they'll grow out of that teenage phase eventually.
And emerge as these well-adjusted, magnificent dogs. Right?
Absolutely. But here's the thing, and this is something I wish more people understood about Cane Corsos. Those early months, as challenging as they can be, are also incredibly rewarding.
How so? What makes that period so special?
You're witnessing firsthand this incredible transformation, this little ball of fluff blossoming into this powerful, loyal companion.
Yeah.
And the bond you build during that time through all the ups and downs
Right.
is something truly special.
It's like you're both figuring things out together, growing and learning as you go. That's a beautiful way to put it.
It really is. And when you approach it with the right knowledge, the right support, and a whole lot of love, that first year with a Cane Corso becomes less about surviving the growth spurt and more about cherishing every moment of it.
And that brings us to our closing thought for this deep dive. If you could go back in time and give your past self, the one who's just about to bring home a Cane Corso puppy, one piece of advice, what would it be?
That's a tough one. I think I'd say don't just focus on how big they're getting, focus on who they're becoming.
Because it's not just about the size, it's about the heart and the soul of the dog.
Exactly. Embrace every stage, the good, the bad, and the slobbery, because it all goes by so fast.
And on that note, I think we've officially navigated our way through the whirlwind world of Cane Corso growth spurts.
It's been a pleasure diving into this topic with you.
To all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you learned a thing or two, and most importantly, feel ready to embrace the incredible journey of raising a Cane Corso. Until next time, keep those tails wagging, those tree jars full, and remember, even giant dogs started out as tiny paws.